of that by using the hashtag Royal Debate. Okay, hashtag Royal Debate. So if you're on Facebook, if you're on Twitter, if you go on @talkRADIO on Twitter, you just put that hashtag in there, Royal Debate. So it's been a good day today. I thought Ronnie was in good form.
Yeah, it was. I've never met Ronnie Sullivan before. I thought he was very open and honest, and really talked about his life. Fascinating listening to his stories and how he was brought up.
Well, listen, lovely having you here, Sarah. Folks, thank you very much indeed. Have you joined us in part of our journey between 4 and 7 o'clock, which is coming up to right now. We're going to be back tomorrow. We will do it all again. Have a good evening, whatever you're doing. Hopefully listening to James. This has been a 60 billion production for Talk Radio.
Love you, bye.
Talk Radio, digital debate for the UK.
Talk Radio.
We'll get you talking.
OK, children, settle down. Thank you for bringing your pets in for Bring Your Pet to School Day. Meghan, who is this delightful little ball of fur?
It's Treacle, my guinea pig, miss.
Adorable. And Alfie, who's this?
It's Ronaldo, my rabbit, miss.
What a darling. And what's in the wooden crate, Poppy?
Fluffy.
That's a very strong lock.
With a Land Rover Discovery, adventure can take you, well, anywhere. Never stop discovering. Search Land Rover Discovery. Land Rover, above and beyond.
Keeping your four wheels fresh when you've got a four-legged friend can be a hairy business. Until now. Power Out Pet Mess Kit is the brilliant new product from Turtle Wax that keeps canine carrying cars clean. Whether you take your Vizsla in a van, your Hound in a hatchback, or your Black Lab in a black cab, Power Out Pet Mess Kit is the simple way to remove the unwanted hairs and odours pet passengers leave behind. Turtle Wax Power Out Pet Mess Kit. Trusted innovation inside and out. Buy today from Halfords to get 20% off.
If I won Lotto this Wednesday, I'd have to treat my mum, because my mum's always been there for me, no matter what I'm going through. Anything bad, she's always there. Anything good, she's always there. So it's unconditional. As soon as I tell her, she'd just be like, Joe, Joe, we've got the Lotto, Joe. She'd be screaming my name and she'd be crying and she'd give me a big hug as well. I've heard like girls call me a mummy's boy, boys call me a mummy's boy, but if I did win the lottery, it's my mum. I love my mum, yeah, of course I do.
Lotto. Who wins if you win? Rules and procedures apply. Players must be 16 or over.
Cast your mind back and think. Were you ever contacted out of the blue for a pension review? Were you advised to move your work or personal pension into a SIP, self-invested personal pension?
Yes, I was.
You could be due thousands if you were missold. Money Redress are trusted claim specialists in pension and investment mis-selling. They'll manage the whole claim for you on a no payout, no fee basis, so you can't lose. Text WIN to 85077.
That looks very good, sir. Really? Have to say, I love the colour. And I can tailor it to suit me exactly. Of course. We have lots of options. How's the fit? Yeah, brilliant. Loads of room. Good to hear. So that you can be sure you like it. Why don't you have it over the weekend? Perfect. It'll turn a few heads in town, and I think my friends are going to love it. Excellent. Here are the keys.
The stylish, spacious Mini Clubman. Take a 48-hour test drive to try one on for size. Who's in? Test drive subject to status and availability. Terms and conditions apply. Participating Mini retailers only.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Hopefully you'll be talking plenty. The Royal Debate with James Whale follows the news update from Kate Borsey.
Thanks, Eamon. Pensioner murdered in her own home, named. Russia was involved in US election, and Labour wants government to end hostile environment for immigrants.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Talk Radio, on the hour news headlines.
Good evening. The 85-year-old woman who was found dead in Romford in East London after suffering a cowardly assault has been named by Met Police as Rosina Coleman. Scotland Yard started a murder investigation after the pensioner was discovered late yesterday morning. Key US politicians say they agree with intelligence assessments that Russia tried to influence the 2016 election, which saw Donald Trump become president. The leaders of the
lot of places to go.
Committee say there is no doubt.
Oh, here we go. Here's the news.
Guys, James Matthews,
and then we'll be live.
There had been an investigation by the House Intelligence Committee. They said there had been no Russian interference. What the Senate Intelligence Committee is saying,
and of course we've got Emily Andrews. Is Emily here? I haven't seen Emily yet. Emily's royal correspondent for The Sun.
The East Coast mainline rail service is going to be taken back under government control. At the
Right, over there,
moment, it's
Rupert.
being run by Virgin
Good,
and Stagecoach, but the Transport Secretary,
Well,
Chris Grayling, says they overestimated...
Short notice, Rupert. It's very good. It would be interesting to see how this
It's a very
goes.
profitable railway. What's happened is that the company promised to pay more money to the government than it's actually
Ricky,
making in profit.
can I borrow
so
you?
It's just not met its own expectations.
Michigan State University has reached a $500 million
Ricky is
settlement
our
with the
producer.
victims of former US gymnastics team Dr.
Do I
Larry
need to
Nassar.
listen into
It
this?
means
As soon as
more
this
than
finishes, you'll give me a
300
hand cue to
girls
start.
who's
I don't
alleged
need to listen to
abused
this
will
stuff.
share $370 million
Okay, all right.
between them. And Labour says it would close down 2 controversial immigration detention centres.
So Emily's going to be a little late.
It says it wants to end the policy
That's-
of having a so-called...
Which actually, if we were on the radio, it wouldn't. We are on the radio. It wouldn't make any difference whatsoever because nobody would know. But as we're filming it and as it's going out live on Facebook Live and other various channels, I was just saying, do you think we should get Rupert to come a little closer or not? Just to fill it in. I mean, just, you know, make it nice and...
Tomorrow, fine and dry, with plenty of sunshine, breezy... and
No, they say you're all right for now, Rupert. I don't know. I wouldn't take that too personally if I were you. Everybody ready?
All at trade prices. Selco's got it.
I'm Toby Gillis. Gareth Southwood field his England World Cup squad. Trent Alexander-Arnold, Liverpool's teenage right-back, is
So when Emily arrives, we won't sort of cheer her or clap her or anything. She'll just float in. And everybody listening on the radio will be none the wiser. Good fun, eh, Arthur?
And Everton are also looking for a new manager after sacking Sam Allardyce. That's the latest.
Yeah. I can't remember. Well, it wasn't long since we did a show together, was it? Arthur? No, yeah.
Starters early morning frown.
Are you still in living where you live in Essex?
Causing temperatures to rise later
Yeah.
today.
You're not, are you really?
Leave murky moods behind.
Yeah.
Dive into the wicked mind games.
Will you
of
say to
Westworld
Keith
Season
hi?
2 on
Yeah.
TV.
Yeah.
And there's
Yeah.
plenty more to match your
Yeah.
mood with over 300 box sets to stream,
Yeah.
including.
They find it very funny in the audience to think that Arthur and I used to share a gym, of course, because we're so fit.
18 plus month passes auto renew, terms apply.
Sun Talks presents the Royal Wedding Special with James Whale live on Talk Radio.
Very good evening to everybody. Welcome to tonight's programme live from News UK's headquarters here in central London, and welcome to the programme on Talk Radio, of course, coming to you live. The event broadcast across the nation on Talk Radio. Tonight we'll be joined by a panel of experts ahead of this weekend's royal wedding between Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. And joining us tonight, Arthur Edwards, MBE. Give him a nice round of applause, please. Arthur is probably the best-known photographer, royal photographer, I would have thought, ever. He joins us tonight. Also, Rupert Bell, Talk Radio's royal reporter, is here with us too. And Emily will be joining us, Emily Andrews, the royal correspondent for The Sun. Please put your hands together for tonight's panel and give them a nice round of applause. Thank you. Of course, there will be opportunities for you to put your questions, and if you would like to get in touch, of course, if you're listening at home, we encourage you to tweet us at Talk Radio and make sure you include the hashtag Royal Debate, and we'll include some of those as well. We've got a roving microphone. We'll bring it round. If anybody would like to ask a question, please let us know. So, here we go. A lot of people, there's been quite a lot of controversy, hasn't there, about the royal wedding. People complaining about the amount of money, people saying, oh, you know, what is all the fuss about? Just before we launch into this, I think this is the most important royal wedding there has been since Charles and Diana. I think also it's a moment in history. This is a moment in history that's actually going to change the way we think about the royal family. But let me not go on and on and on. Arthur, what do you think about this?
I think it is an important wedding. It's a lot of controversy, mainly because of Meghan's family in America, who actually taken the gloss off it in many ways, because we're not talking about the bride, we're not talking about the occasion, we're talking about is the father coming or not. and this has been on, off. I mean, every morning I pick the paper up, he's not coming, next day he is coming, next day he's not coming. And it's kind of dominated everything. And it's a shame, really, because I feel sorry for the father, because he's going to miss a great occasion, walking his daughter down the aisle. I feel sorry for Meghan, because she must be in tears, what the family are saying about her, and the stuff that's being printed, because one brother sent a letter to Harry saying, get out of it now, Harry, do yourself a favour and stop the wedding. But so she's got all that to contend with. Plus,
do you think they've overstepped the line, Arthur? Do you think the press have actually interfered too much?
I think the press is just a messenger here, James. I think we're just giving what the family is saying. Now, the father has been doing deals with photographers, and whether he's making any money out of it, I'm not sure, but he's doing that. So there's no you can't really argue that he's being harassed when he's in fact encouraging them. So that's us, the messenger, saying that story. The brother writing the letter. I mean, he made that letter public. Are we to ignore that? This is a woman who's marrying into the royal family, and I do think she's a fantastic woman. I personally, I ask 100 people what they think of Meghan, and everybody's got a different opinion. But my opinion is, I've seen them together. They are so in love, and I've covered Harry's life since he was born, since his mother carried him out of the hospital. And I photographed him amazing things when he went to Eton, when he played rugby, everything. When he's been on tour, when he's been in Africa.
Do you think this wedding will last, Arthur? In your experience, do you think this will last?
I do, yeah, I do. I think both of them have come from broken homes, and they know what that entails, and I'm sure they've discussed this at length. I think it will,
All right, let's ask Emily. Emily, welcome to the show. You're the royal correspondent for The Sun.
I am.
Let me put that question that we put to Arthur to you as well. Have the press intruded too much here? Do you think they're likely to make it more difficult for Harry and Meghan?
I think it's always difficult, isn't it, with the kind of what's in the public interest and what are the public interested in. Inevitably, when there's a very young, handsome prince, as there is obviously in this case with Prince Harry, he's one of the most popular members of the royal family. In fact, routinely in polls, people say he's the most popular member of the royal family. He and the Queen kind of alternate as who's the most favourite. Inevitably, there's going to be interest in his love life and indeed who he marries. So I think that obviously all our readers in The Sun, and it's not just The Sun, the Telegraph, The Times, Hello Magazine, the BBC, ITV, whatever medium that you take your news in, everyone is interested. And obviously with Meghan, because she was an actress, there was a lot of information out there and a lot of information that we could report. I think it's very difficult. I think with Prince Harry and Prince William in particular, they would prefer only for their news, which is the stuff, the PR, basically, that the palace put out on their behalf, their royal engagements, their charities. They would probably just prefer it if we stuck at just reporting that. But of course, the things that people find more interesting are, of course, their private lives, who they're dating, whether they're having kids, where they live. Are they like us? Are they not like us? So I think it's a very difficult line to tread.
We all want to know, basically. We all want to know. Rupert, you're the royal correspondent for Talk Radio. You'll be there live on Talk Radio for us on Saturday. How important to the economy of this country do you think this is?
Well, the royal family per se are a huge driver, and this is just, in everything else that's going on, is a huge driver internationally, globally. There is a fascination, and it's all because the prince is marrying his showgirl, and that's, and it's suddenly sprinkled with, stardust across both parties. And that has created a fascination, and the subplots are quite clearly what's going on with regard to Meghan Markle's family, and obviously, and the royals trying to deal with it. That is all added to the intrigue and the fascination with this wedding, which will drive a great deal of, hotel rooms. God knows what you have to pay in Windsor on Friday night.
I don't think you'll get one now.
You probably can't, but it might be 500 quid a night for starters, even in a Premier Inn or something like that. I have allegedly, but it will be a huge driver. And I remember, when the Diana wedding. I mean, I don't know what that was worth at the time, but if you couldn't buy a T2. Well, you had to buy a T2.
I mean, the royal family are the biggest PR vehicle this country has, aren't they?
And the biggest A-list.
Yeah.
You can talk about film stars and movie stars and radio stars like yourself, James, but there's no bigger A-list than the royals, I promise you. Everybody's interested. The world is interested in the royal family, and the world is focused. Must have done 50 interviews in the last 3 weeks for different Mexico, Israel. Everybody's come to this country to cover this wedding, so it's huge.
What about the dissenting voices that you do hear, though? And people say, well, nobody's interested, it just costs a lot of money, we'd be better off without the royals. So they must say that to you regularly, I would have
Well,
thought.
if they do, you know, I mean, perhaps...
what do you say to them?
Well, occasionally I get someone who has a bleat, but I just put them in their place. I just say, without, you know, what do you want? Some broken down old politician as your president? Is that what you'd like? I mean, we've had a queen. She's reigned. There's a picture of her on the wall over there. A lovely woman. That was the day she passed Victoria's reign as the longest-serving monarch. Now,
did you take that picture?
I did indeed. That's why I mentioned it. But the thing is, this royal family is unique. It's the direct descendant from William the Conqueror, and it's just been, and its flaws and its problems. But my God, it's brilliant.
Emily, do you think that there's been a lot of upset on social media, hasn't there? Lots of people saying that there are racial undertones. A lot of people have been having a go at the fact that Meghan is mixed race. I mean, surely this is good for the royal family, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think she massively drags them kicking and screaming into the 21st century. I mean, look around us in this room today. For those of you listening on the radio, obviously you can't see, but we're quite a diverse audience. We're very diverse in London. We're very diverse in the UK. And I think there has been this kind of image of the royals as pale, male and stale. The Queen, obviously, notwithstanding, very powerful matriarch. So I think she is great for the royal family. I have to say, actually, that when the news kind of first burst onto the scene, I didn't even realise that she was mixed race. I just kind of looked at her as a very incredibly good-looking woman, actually. I personally never heard of her. Never watched Suits. Then was frantically binge-watching Suits just to see what she'd done. But I think there has been... what to say about the racism? I think, does it represent our country? I don't know. Yeah. Does it represent how people who are mixed race, who are non-white in this country, the issues that they have to deal with? A lot of my mates who are non-white have said that they are really pleased that Meghan is a bit of a kind of totem carrier, really, because it's brought people to talk about race more and appreciate perhaps what some people have to go through, even now, in 2018. Unfortunately, there's been a lot of racism and really horrible things said on social media, in the comment section of some of the newspaper websites as well. Does that mean that we as a country, we as a society are still racist? Probably, actually, yes.
Rupert?
It's adding to the pressure, though, on her long term. It's all part of... Because we saw what happened to Diana, the inevitable, the pressure. And it will mean, once this is over and the interest settles down, there's still going to be huge pressures on her, given that she is from a mixed race background. I do believe it's the best thing that's happened, but it's going to be a pressure point for her to have to deal with within the royal family, I think.
But I think what's a shame, I mean, I'm sure some of you might remember back to November 2016 when Prince Harry issued that kind of cri de coeur, that statement where he said he confirmed that he was dating Meghan, which is unheard of, really, for the royal family to confirm anything, frankly. It really is like the Queen says, you never explain, you never complain. Being a royal correspondent is quite tricky because they never, ever confirm anything. You ask them a question, we don't comment, Emily, we don't comment. So for a member of the royal family to confirm a relationship is really, really unusual. And Harry confirmed that relationship in quite a strident way. There was that statement from Kensington Palace that said that he had, he accepted that, the price that he had to pay almost for being a member of the royal family, but it wasn't a price that someone he loved, his girlfriend, had to pay. There was racist comments, social media trolls, etc., etc. But I think what's happened since then is that all of us journalists, broadcast, newspaper, whatever, are now too scared to mention that she is biracial, which I think is such a shame, because when she was in Suits and when she obviously had quite a platform because of that role in Suits, she talked a lot about being biracial, being the daughter of an African-American mum and a white dad, and she actually used her platform and her fame and her blog, The Tig, to talk about that and how it was, which I think was great. But because of that statement from Kensington Palace, now we just never talk about it because we're too scared of being labelled racist. And I think that's really a shame, because it's something that should be celebrated. And the other thing is, because of her position now, marrying into the royal family, the royals are supposed to be apolitical. They're not supposed to have any kind of opinion on politics. And so all that campaigning that she used to do for, you know, race relations, I don't think she'll be able to do anymore, which I think is a shame.
You think it's a good thing for the country. I'm going to come to Arthur in a moment. Anybody in the audience with any questions who would like to ask a question at this point, if you put your hand, a lady in the front. Can we find a microphone for the lady in the front? If you would like to tweet us as well at Talk Radio, don't forget to use the hashtag Royal Debate. This is James Whale. We're hosting a live debate about the royal wedding, which is coming up on Saturday. And, of course, on Talk Radio here, you will be able to hear full coverage of the royal wedding. Rupert will be there, won't you, Rupert?
I will be there.
You will indeed.
Looking forward.
Madam.
Good evening, Arthur. First, I must apologise. I got you mixed up with James at first, saying I miss you on the TV.
Well, listen, I am...
I'm better looking than him.
The exercise.
I am so chuffed at that, Arthur. Thank you very much.
Let me move on. Dr. Velma McClymont, writer, international speaker. Yeah. Now, when Prince Louis was born, you had an interview, good stuff, with Kate Burley and is it
Kate
Rihanna
Burley.
Mills?
Yeah.
I can never remember her name. Now, you said that Prince Harry has become withdrawn and is generally upset with the press, and you thought that because it's his wedding coming up, that he would, you know, be, what's the word? You'd be in a forgiving mood. But given the way the press, the way Meghan has been treated as a biracial, mixed race then, social climber, this woman who is a serial networker in order to get to the top, to snare Prince Harry, this innocent young man. Do you not feel that's the reason why Prince Harry is, you know, the way...
Let's hear what...
That's a good question. That's a long question.
The oracle...
But I've been watching you on TV.
Okay, Arthur, let's hear what you have to say.
I don't see... I don't remember reading anything about people calling her a social climber, and yeah, you probably have done, but you know, I've seen them together, and I don't care about what people say like that. I see two people very much in love. I mean, I've never seen a royal couple more tactile. I only saw Charles and Diana hold hands once. I see this couple never take their hands off each other. They're so loved up, it's unbelievable. So
people are going to say that, Arthur.
Yeah, they can say what they like. I'm saying what I see them. Yeah. I see this couple really happy together. And you know, I don't think. I mean, you could say what you like. I don't think it bothers Harry one bit. He's determined to make this marriage.
How difficult is it, do you think, Arthur, for Harry or any member of the royal family to marry somebody who A, has been married already, and B, somebody who has no royal heritage at all? This is surely going to be difficult for them.
Well, you know, Charles married Camilla. She's been married before. You know, I mean, that's we accept it. And 1 in 4 marriages fail. So you know, it's just a statistic. I mean, I remember when, and I'll just move off a bit a tangent. But when William and Catherine got engaged, we had a little tea party before we did the photo call. And I asked William why he broke up with Kate. And he said, because I was unsure. He said, Arthur, I had to be sure. I said, but, you know, why did you do that? He said, I just want this marriage to last forever. And I feel, you know, that they've got a great marriage. And I think Harry thinks the same. I think they want this to last forever. And, you know, this lovely lady here asked a question about racial undertones. That's what they put in the letter. The coverage carried racial undertones. Well, you know, all they were doing were reporting the facts. You know, don't shoot the messenger. These are the facts. And, you know, as I say, I don't think people care.
All right, Arthur, thank you very much indeed. We'll come back to some more questions from the audience in a moment. If you want to tweet us at Talk Radio, use the hashtag Royal Debate. and we'll use some of those a little later. In the meantime, you're listening to Talk Radio, back right after this.
Talk Radio, digital debate for the UK.
Pick up your phone and talk radio.
We'll get you talking.
Still haven't signed up to Selco Predictor? Why not?
Are we going to be hitting the short break at half-past as well, or just skip straight on past it?
Reasons why you should. Sign up now at selcobw.com/predictor and use your footballing foresight for the chance to become a millionaire. Plus, in May, win a GoPro bundle complete with chest harness, three-way handler, smart...
There's just a royal wedding stab and then that's it.
£1 million! Download the Selco app now or sign up for free.
I was going to say, why don't we just put the opener in, because it will mask any delays or anything, so we'll just use that out of every break, or at least the music from it.
Click Plus up to 4 years servicing. Right again. And 4 years, 0% APR finance with Vauxhall Help to Buy. Really?
Search Vauxhall Vivaro. Vauxhall, British brand since 1903. Conditional sale. 4 years, 0% APR. Minimum 18% deposit plus VAT at 20% on total price. Financed by Vauxhall Finance, subject to status. 18 plus. Business users only. T's and C's, mileage limitations and exclusions apply.
Hi, I'm Peter Jones. Sage helped me manage one of my first companies when I was 19. Now, Sage Business Cloud helps me manage everything from money to people. It's the platform your business needs to grow and succeed. So, when people ask me, what's the secret of your success? I say it's about making wise choices. It's about being Sage.
Realise your ambition with Sage Business Cloud. Visit sage.com/ambition.
No, we're still over in the old building.
One thing we've learned over time, there's always room for improvement. Something we've been working on for over 50 years as the UK's #1 commercial vehicle brand. So we asked you, the customer, what we could do to improve our new Transit range. Your response inspired thousands of ideas, creating a new range with a model to fit any business. Take the new Transit Custom, our most versatile and hard-working model yet, with an advanced optional Sync 3 system offering voice control features and much more. Discover what the new Transit range can do for your business at ford.co.uk. Ford. Together, we go further.
Talk Radio, traffic and travel.
In Cumbria, the A66 west from Penrith, it's closed due to an accident. A19 at the Silverlink roundabout, that's Willington. That's got very slow traffic through the roadworks. M6 in Cheshire, South Junctions 19 to 18, inside lane is closed by a breakdown.
A very good evening to you. If you would like to join in the debate, you can tweet us at Talk Radio using the hashtag Royal Debate. We are here live in central London with an audience as well. And on stage with me this evening, we've got the royal correspondent of The Sun. It's giving a lovely wave to everybody now. It's a very royal wave from Emily Andrews. Rupert Bell, who joined us, he didn't know he was going to do this tonight.
His is better. He's got a better wave. Yeah, sorry, guys, if you can't see this. But
I wish you could see that at home, but if you're looking at us on Facebook Live, you might just have seen Rupert Bell's royal wave. Rupert, of course, now Talk Radio's royal reporter and correspondent. And here, of course, the biggest star of any of the royal correspondents or photographers, Arthur Edwards. Give him a nice round of applause. I think Arthur, who will remind us all, has been covering the royal family for how many years?
40 years, 40 years.
40 years, 40 years, my golly. And you're still working?
I was a boy when I did it.
Yes. He thought he should have retired. Now, we've got some questions. There's a question from a gentleman over here. Let's do that first of all. Hi.
Hi, my name is Bill. So I work in PR, and the whole story about Thomas Markle It's just quite frankly a PR debacle. I feel desperately sorry for Meghan. This is supposed to be the happiest week of her life. And I just wanted to get your analysis. Why did Kensington Palace not from day one say, look, Mr. Markle, we're going to take over your PR? It's just baffling to me.
Yeah, it's a good point there, Arthur.
Oh, I agree. I couldn't agree more. I think Harry should have got one of his people over there. I mean, they've got a huge press office. Get someone over there, put their arm around him and get him into a really nice hotel, get him suited up for the wedding and go through it all with him, explain how simple it's going to be, and get him on the plane over here. It didn't happen. They left him to fend for himself. And
why do you think they did that? Why did I mean?
You know, if they could do it again, if they could rerun it now, they'd have a team of people over there now, James. They realise that every time the press office here, the Kensington Palace, made a statement, it was totally wrong. You know, one day they would never comment whether he was coming or not because they didn't know. No one told them anything.
So how close is the relationship, Meghan and her father? That's maybe where the problem's broken down.
She says she loves him very much and she wants him to give her away.
Correct, but at the stage there, you're reading sort of through, there's been good times, bad times, where is it? And this may have been all adding to the complication. He's a reclusive figure. You don't actually know whether he might have actually said, I'm steering clear of this. And the Kensington Palace like to keep a distance. So I wonder whether, that it's not all Kensington Palace's fault, just that actually it's part of, this is a very different family. And
should they not have had some team over there looking after the whole of her family and making sure that they knew what they were doing, Emily?
Well, that's a very good point, James. Phil, I think, to take it back to the PR, I think that royal PR is quite difficult. I've never been in PR myself, I've always ever been a journalist, but I think, as you've probably identified, the way that royal PR works is quite different and like no other. Usually, I have to be slightly careful what I say here, guys, usually and it's three different palaces. I mean, it is like a medieval court. You've got Buckingham Palace, which is the Queen and Prince Philip. You've got Clarence House, which is Charles and Camilla. And then you've got Kensington Palace, which is the young royals in effect. That's William, Harry, now Kate and Meghan. And normally, they never really ever comment on the record. They very rarely give us any guidance. So it does make it very, very difficult to do royal reporting. In this particular instance, off the record, and there's this on the record, which is official statements that we're allowed to use in the paper or allowed to broadcast on, broadcast medium, social media, etc. And then there's off the record. And off the record is guidance that's given to us to try and inform how we perhaps might write our stories or make our TV broadcasts. On this particular Thomas Markle situation, I've been told that offers of help and advice have been offered to Thomas Markle, but no instances or specifics have been given. So you have to kind of infer, well, what was that?
Okay, so they'll learn by their mistakes, I imagine, Arthur. Anyway, thank you for that. There's another question, lady in the stripy top over there. Yes, Madame.
Hi. If the three of you had a golden ticket, you could be anywhere in this wedding as a reporter, as the radio, as the lady helping her into the dress, where would you honestly want to be? Short of barging the Archbishop out the way.
If you were a fly on the wall, Arthur, where would you like to be?
I'd like to be where the Queen and the Duke are talking about this wedding. Because I reckon the Duke's got up having a lot to say about it. He's, as you know, he's recovering from his hip operation, and I do know the Queen loves gossip. She loves gossip. And I think listening to their comments when they talk amongst each other, that's where I'd like to be.
Rupert?
I don't know whether the cameras are going to be there, but where they've signed the old dotted line, and just see what they might be saying to each other once they've done it, and they're in their first reaction, just to be a little microphone if they've managed to say anything to each other. Just that sort of, we've got there.
Emily?
I'd like to be standing next to Prince Harry so I can see the look on his face when he first sees Meghan walking up the west steps to the west door of St. George's.
Old romantic.
Oh. And he looks at her, and he's besotted, so it'd be a lovely, lovely view, I think.
Okay, let's talk a little bit, shall we, about the press shutdown. They're not allowing huge amounts of press there. Say, for one reporter, 2 stills photographers allowed in the ceremony, 28 reporters, 17 photographers for William and Kate's Day. Why have they done it? Rupert? Let's go to Rupert first.
I think probably because they don't want the over-intrusion. There's so many people now who probably feel that they can manage it. It's all part of their PR game. They want to make sure they're in control. Arthur would know better than...
Well, hang on, let's make sure there are only 2 stills photographers there, Arthur. Are you one of them?
No, I'm not. And, and let me tell you, when it came out, it was a shock. It came out on a Friday night, and there wasn't much we could do about it till the Monday, but everybody lobbied, and in fact there was no reporter going inside the church. There's no photographer inside the church. There's a remote camera that's being operated away from the church. The journalists all lobbied hard to get more reporters in. They got 1. We lobbied hard, and we've got nothing. There's 2 photographers from the Press Association. That's the state agency here. They're doing the ins and outs, the bride going in and the royals coming out. We're getting what's left, which is probably the royals arriving, the guests, the carriage ride.
Why weren't you invited, Arthur? I mean, this seems almost...
Well, if you think that last time, William's wedding, I was in the forecourt of Buckingham Palace and I got the kiss picture. I got the kiss picture with Andrew and Fergie when they got married. And I can tell you now, when I did the Prince of Wales' 2nd wedding, we did it at Windsor. And when they walked down those steps at St George's, I was there then for that. And I asked him to kiss Camilla, and he went, no.
That's probably why you're not there, right? Emily, you're not there either?
I'm in Windsor Castle. Hurrah! Hurrah! But yeah, no, Arthur's right. There were no reporters allowed in the chapel at all, which made our job really, really difficult because actually, as a reporter, so I'm going to watch it on the TV, like all of you guys. But we're going to get a tour of the chapel beforehand. I'm going to be with all the press officers in the bunker watching it on TV. But yeah, I mean, it's really important to be able to watch it with your own eyes so that when we're reporting it for all our readers and on social media and everything, we actually can report what we've seen. It's not the same as watching it on TV. I mean, Harry and William are not fans of the press. Let's not beat around the bush about it. And I suspect that Harry just didn't want any of us in there.
Well, I don't think it's a bad idea. I think they're in control of it. I agree with what they've done because we can all see it. I know as a reporter, if I go to wherever you want to smell the event, as it were, and that's what you want, the atmosphere. But in terms of, the church, they want to have as many people of their own people. Suddenly, if they've got a great bank of reporters, suddenly they're giving up a lot of seats.
But the chapel seats 800, and there are only 600 guests.
And also, where can you get any colour? How can you get any ambience? How can you get the feeling? How can you see the guests? Look at what they're wearing. Look at the relation, what the interaction between the royals. That's what Emily's there for, to get all that different stuff. And the royal reporter that's going is from the Press Association, and it will be bland copy. And that's because it's for everybody. It's not their fault. That's what they have to write. And as for the photographers, there's going to be 2 photographers, and every newspaper the next day are going to be running the same pictures. So Harry has just had it up to here with the media, and he's just banned us from the vital position.
Any more questions before we move on? Lady over here, we'll get a microphone to you with... that's it, yes, in there, dash in. There's one over there. There we are. And as I say, don't forget you can use Twitter at talkRADIO, #RoyalDebate. Madame.
Yeah, my question is that we've heard that Meghan's got a lot of criticism because of her race. Do you think there could be other reasons? Because if we consider her background, being a showgirl, divorcee, and even looking at her family, we know about her brother's background. Do you think there could be other reasons apart from the racism issue?
I mean, it's an interesting point, Arthur, isn't it? That if you were going to choose somebody to join the royal family, this is probably one of the more dangerous choices you could make.
Yeah, but what other this girl's shown a lot of commitment to this country and to Harry. She's baptised in the Church of England. She's given up all her acting. She's cancelled all her social media things. She's, in fact, going to become a British citizen. Next week, Emily will be curtsying to her because she'll be a duchess. This woman's shown an amazing commitment to this country. I think we've got to give this girl a chance. I think if I ask every woman in this room what they thought of Meghan, I don't think two people would give me the same answer. And that's what it's like. People have an opinion, but I think we've got to give this couple a chance, and I just hope that I'm right, that they are very loved up, and it will probably last forever.
Rupert?
I wish her the best of luck, but I wonder if she's going to feel stifled in the end. If she's giving up everything, she's a strong, independent woman. That was her whole point, and the way she's ended up to where she is now, given her whole background. She fought to get to where she now. Yes, she's achieving happiness, it appears, in this marriage, but will she be satisfied just playing the wife of, when she's quite a strong character, and in this, will she be able to have as strong a voice as she would like?
And does she have to give everything up, Emily? She does, doesn't she, really? She can't carry on living the life she had before.
I think she does actually have to give up pretty much everything. Like I said earlier, it's a real shame that for some of the things that she's campaigned on so strongly, she won't be able to. And she's famous for her kind of feminism. She spoke at the UN on, female empowerment. And of course, she's now famous for marrying a man. I mean, I'm a feminist myself. And if I was defined by the man that I haven't taken my husband's surname. I don't wear a wedding ring. I do wear his ring that he gave me. I get in trouble otherwise. But, I don't define myself by her husband. Suddenly, this strong, independent woman is being defined by the man she's marrying. The title that she's going to get is because of the man she's marrying. The job she's doing is because of the man that she's marrying. And I think that might be quite tricky for her.
Yeah, OK.
Good answer,
Sorry, Arthur.
That was a good answer. That was a very good answer,
Thanks, Arthur.
Praise indeed, Emily. Praise indeed.
He is great. I love working with Arthur. I hope we're a good double team.
Well, I hope if they're listening, I'm sure they are at this moment, that you might think again about allowing Arthur in. He's quite hurt about this. Just looking at him now.
I'm heartbroken.
Have you gone for therapy?
I've got to take therapy after Saturday, yeah.
I think we should move on. I think we should move on now and talk about the sort of people who are going to be invited to the wedding, because a lot of people aren't going to be invited to the wedding. Donald Trump is not invited to the wedding, and Theresa May is not invited to the wedding. But somebody from Made in Chelsea and I think The Only Way is Essex, or some other reality
Maybe
program.
the Spice Girls as well.
And the Spice Girls are coming.
Who'd want Donald Trump at their wedding?
You would have liked Donald Trump?
No way, no.
Oh, right. I thought...
I'm still amazed how the Americans elected him. I still am, to this day.
Well, back onto the subject anyway. So Elton John, Spice Girls, and various other people coming from the world of entertainment. Emily, is this a good thing for the royal family or not? Oh, you're not making a call in the middle of the show, are you?
No, but this time is kind of, deadline time. And it's when the paper kind of we go off stone at about 10:30. So at the moment, the pages, the splash, the front page, and pages 2, 3, 4, and 5 are all kind of getting written. So I kind of dashed up here to come and talk to you guys. And I'm still kind of trying to talk to the newspaper, which is a couple of floors below us. But I mean, look, it's great that celebs are coming to this wedding because it gives eye candy. We all love a royal wedding. I mean, I think whether you love the royals, loathe the royals, or indifferent to the royals, it's a good way of celebrating patriotism, and it's a really positive event. I mean, there's a lot of news generally is quite negative because it's the bad stuff that tends to make the news, inevitably. And don't worry, it's fine. I'm just going to keep talking over the mobile phone. I mean, So I think, don't worry, it's fine. So I think that anything positive to celebrate is great. So lovely pictures, that's fantastic. I don't think it devalues the wedding.
And is it good, Arthur, that they've decided there doesn't need to be an official political list, so they haven't got to invite the leader of one country or another? They're not interested in all of that.
Yeah, I think so. I think, and also follows from when William and Catherine were bogged down with heads of state from different countries coming, and the Queen said, look, tear up that list and invite who you want. And I think she said it the same for Harry. And if you have the Prime Minister, you've got to have Donald Trump. So I don't think Meghan's too keen on him. So it's a private wedding. And they keep saying it's a private wedding, so they can just have who they want.
OK. Rupert, when you go on Saturday for Talk Radio, you're there in Windsor, you're observing everything that's going on. What will you expect to see that perhaps nobody is. Do you expect to see any kind of negativity in the crowds at all? Do you expect to see anybody complaining they can't do their Saturday shopping in Windsor, or do you think it'll all be hooray, hooray?
It probably should be hooray, hooray, because why go if you're not interested? Because it's going to be hard enough, you know, for anyone getting there. I mean, I've been looking at the trains to get from Reading to Slough, and I'm thinking, how am I going to do this? You know, it's going to be quite a logistical exercise getting. So if you are have a negative view of it, why bother to go in the first place? But I'm sure there will be a dissent, one or two dissenters who will want to make a point. But it's a private occasion. It's two people getting married, but wanting to share their happiness with people. And thousands will turn up at Windsor and make it a great spectacle. And thankfully, the weather's going to be fine, and it will show off Britain in a great light as a result.
And what would you say, Emily, to the Republicans who still feel that this is a complete and utter waste of money, that they ought really not to have the privileges they have? What is it costing? Something like, I've got it here somewhere, 24 million, the taxpayers. But that is, by the way, only on security, and I suppose we should foot the security bill, because we will make a lot more than that out of it, won't we, as a country?
Exactly. A royal wedding is a great shop window to the world. Obviously, in this post-Brexit era where we're trying to make trade deals all around the world, it is really important, I think, that we show off brand Britain. Republic is an actual group. It's a pressure group. Obviously, they think we should have an elected head of state. Do we all want to see Tony Blair on our stamps? I mean, yeah. I mean, I think there's an argument for saying that we should have an elected head of state, but I think if there were an election tomorrow, probably all of us, Republic, Royalist or whatever, would all vote for the Queen. I think when she dies, that question might arise again.
All right. We'll take a short break. If you've got some questions, then we'll come back to the audience. If you'd like to tweet us at talkRADIO, #RoyalDebate. This is Talk Radio and the royal debate about the wedding that, of course, is coming on Saturday. You can hear it here on Talk Radio as well.
coming, not coming, the staged photos. I'm here. I don't know really how much that has resonated in the
This is the ultimate reality television show, isn't it, really? The royal family is the ultimate reality TV show.
Yeah, and I just wonder if the royal I know that Harry and Meghan would be horrified, but I just wonder if the rest of them are upset that this is what the news has been all week.
Oh, well, as I said, I'm sure the Prince of Wales is raging about it because, you know, this is his son getting married, a big day. He's so happy for him. I was with him last week in Greece, and he asked him. He said, I'm delighted for the couple. He's so happy that Harry's found the woman he loves. And I just think this is just taken away everything, as you say, with no other story in town except that.
Can I ask one more question? I'm interested to know, what is the feeling in America about the fact that Donald Trump hasn't been invited?
Very good question. Guard on that. I don't think.
If you don't want to answer, I'll understand. I mean, you know.
No, I really don't know the answer to that. I think that given no one has been invited, no politicians have been invited, I don't think that Trump's
The Obamas were invited, but they declined because
were
they
thought
invited?
They
were
not
invited, but they thought it might upset Donald. So they said no.
I think Donald's pretty busy these days. That's the sense I'm getting, but yeah, I don't think there's a sense of outrage. I think people are looking forward to this, and I've spoken to people in America who are setting their alarm clocks for, you know, people in LA who are setting their alarm clocks for the middle of the night because they want to watch it real time.
It is the ultimate A-list. You're right, isn't it, Art?
Well, yeah, exactly, and you know, they're all going to be on show, and they're all going to look fantastic.
There's a question over here from somebody, I think.
Yeah, hi there, hi panel. With the American interest and the international interest and the blurring of lines between royalty and showbiz, I mean, he's marrying into showbiz, are we going to see more press intrusion now with it? Isn't it fair enough that the press now, it's a showbiz wedding, isn't it? And they've sort of, over the years, the press have left them alone, but now we've got the American interest and internationally, just the whole world's interested. Isn't it going to just all come on top of them now?
Funnily, you sound very familiar, but yes, okay. Is there going to be more press intrusion now? Because it is, perhaps in some people's minds, becoming more entertainment than royalty.
You're asking, I think Kensington Palace and Harry and William have got pretty much, are in control of their own coverage now. And I think that we've got, you know, laws here now that you can't do the things they used to do. I mean, the newspaper industry in the 80s was like the Wild West. It was, you just got it and you stuck it in the paper. But today there's questions asked, is it on private property? Did they know you were taking the picture? Did you follow them in a car? That's all gone now. We can't publish those pictures anymore. So
but that's just the British press, isn't it?
Well, I'm just coming on to that. But in America, that's completely different. And that might happen. But, you know, the children, William's children, well, George especially, the photographers were hiding, taking pictures of him. Then now there's no magazine in the world will publish those pictures. So whether that happens with Harry and Meghan, I suspect it will. It won't happen here, but it may well happen in the United States. But
thank you for that. Emily, we've only got 4 minutes left on the programme. Let's look at the future for the royal family. Princess Diana changed direction for the royal family. We've now got 4 young people who will be the focal point, I think, for now, particularly for new generations of the royal family. What direction are they going to take it in?
Well, I think Prince Charles has made it quite clear that he wants to see a slimmed-down monarchy when he becomes king. Well, of course, we don't know when that is, but we do have, you know, the monarch. She's 92 now. It'll be a slimmed-down monarchy. I think you will see William and Harry have made it very clear they want to sort of make the monarchy more relevant, more modern. They've got their foundation, which is the foundation of the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge and Prince Harry, and of course will be Meghan with the title that they're given by the Queen on Saturday. And I think they want to do a lot of, they use that charity vehicle to be their sort of convening. I think, though, that as they get older, you know, they'll become perhaps less interesting. I mean, if we look at kind of the popularity of the royal family, it's quite cyclical. So obviously there was the nadir in the, you know, late 90s after Princess Diana died, and Show Us You Care, Ma'am, and all that kind of thing. At the moment, the kind of wheel is on the up. You know, it's royal weddings, babies. It's the kind of positive PR. It's very popular. I suspect, I don't know, maybe we might see the wheel turn once again after the Queen dies, and that will be quite a problematic time, I think, for the royal family.
Rupert, your thoughts of the future of the royal family?
Well, it will be it's a tough act to follow for Prince Charles when he takes over, and that will be, the public's reaction to that will be, I think, the key to the longevity and the popular feeling. At the moment, it clearly is on a high. We have a fabulous monarch in the Queen who is loved by all and sundry. That will be the defining moment.
And the final say on this programme, Arthur, is down to you.
Well, you know, I hope you all enjoy the wedding. I hope you'll all be watching it. I'll be working very, very hard, so will Emily, and so will Rupert. But enjoy it. You know, this doesn't happen often, but it's a great occasion. I'm so happy for Harry. I mean, he's a really nice person, hard-working, lovely person, and he's finally found the love of his life. And just, I hope you all enjoy it, and as I will when I get home and watch it on the television afterwards.
So do you know, Arthur, I feel really bad that you've not been invited, and obviously you do too.
I'll cope with it, don't worry, James.
Well, listen, thank you all very much indeed, and I know that you'll all three of you be working very, very hard over the next couple of days. Talk Radio will be bringing you coverage of that. Rupert will be down there. He's going to be the main man for us, of course. What time does it start on Saturday, Rupert?
I will be there from 8 o'clock down at the Boatman pub, probably having a glass of Bucksfizz to get me on the mood with Steph and Dom. Thank you very much. Yeah. Looking forward to a day by the Thames.
This will be worth listening to. You, Steph and Dom, live on the radio from a pub. But yes, I think we should all tune in to Talk Radio for the weekend. In the meantime, thank you very much indeed. Stay tuned. Daisy McAndrew after the news.
Talk Radio. Intelligent, organic entertainment.
Thanks, guys.
We'll get you
well
talking.
done. Well done.
Countdown to break. Talk Radio with the Times. Know your times. The clock is ticking as the UK prepares to officially leave the European Union. Listen to the No Nonsense Breakfast with Julia Hartley-Brewer tomorrow morning from 6:30, when she'll be joined by